For the last 8 years, we've been running public tennis centers for the city of Dallas. Started out with Samuel Grand Tennis Center, which is the biggest and oldest and grandest of all of them. Then we assumed the remainder of the contract for Fretz Tennis Center. We took Samuel Grand from being the worst of the worst days when nobody would come through the door. The only time the phone would ring would be if it was a wrong number. But in 2014, we actually won the USTA National Facility of the Year award for large public tennis centers. I love the fact that as we operated the tennis centers, they really became those places in the community where people wanted to be. People became family. We watched kids grow up. Some of them who were in elementary school when we took over Samuel Grand, we're now 8 years later. Those are high school kids. Got a text message from a young man who was in the program, started in middle school, telling me that he was accepted to a very high-level college. Those types of things are awesome. We have people here at Fretz who we knew from, they started in the beginner program when we first took over Samuel Grand 8 years ago, and they're still out playing in leagues. They followed us from one facility to the other. It's the kind of place that is hard to leave. Unfortunately, we have to. We're being forced to. We wanted to continue to operate the public tennis centers. We took the one that we ran from worst to first. We're still killing it. The one that we continue to run is by far number one of the manned tennis centers right to this very day. We're so far ahead of the next one, but we weren't selected to run Fretz, even though the person who runs the next one down, and it is way down, was selected to keep running it, his facility. Transitions going from a world where tennis dominates to a world where we are doing video production, but we're going from a place where we had security to now we have none, and we gotta figure it out. It's scary, yet I'm also supremely confident we're going to be successful. And understanding that they're not mutually exclusive. Just because you're scared about something doesn't mean you're also not going to be confident that you're going to be able to do it. Because I know, Kim and I don't fail at anything. We took a tennis center that was on its last legs and we brought it to where we won national award for being one of the very best in the country. And we did it in about 4 years from nothing. We're not going to fail at this. We're going to a place where Kim has the major competence coming in. We're working with other people as part of our team who bring forth major competence. And there's me who has passion for this more than anything I've been involved with in way more than a decade. We are starting from ground zero. It's going to be hard. But I believe because we're going into the world of cinematography where passion is what rules. A lot of cinematographers that want to do things for themselves do it because they're passionate and they're always trying to bring people in. Well, I want to bring people in that want to tell their own stories, and I want to be part of helping them do it and them be part of helping us create our story. And that's how we're going to develop our team, is we're going to look for people who have always looked for that opportunity to connect with others. Maybe they ran around with a camera and they did movies, but had never quite figured out how to make it all click. And we're going to be the glue that makes it all stick. Because one of the things that I truly believe is a story which I was told by a woman by the name of Molly Barker years ago. And she said she was out for a run with a girl in a program that she had called Girls on the Run. And she asked that girl, "Why do you think we're out here today?" And the little girl said to her, "Well, I think God has a lot of ideas. And what he does is he takes the ideas and he puts them inside of people and sends the people to earth. But sometimes he has ideas that are way too big to fit inside of one person. So what he does is he breaks it into different sized pieces and he puts them inside of different people and sends them to earth, and then he finds ways to bring them together so that the whole idea comes together." Well, I know that this idea of EKH Media is bigger than anything he could have put inside of Kim and inside of me. And what going to happen is we're going to find those people who have those other pieces, and maybe it's just a little piece and they interact with us for a day, or maybe it's a great big piece and they become the first employee in. But we're going to find those people and we're going to put it together as we tell the story of this great opportunity which exists with Evanscurth Media, or EKH Media. And I want every minute of every day to be getting out and to be making videos and to be telling stories and to be figuring out how to use some of this great equipment that we have at our disposal in order to tell stories. Took really life savings and have poured it into equipment. We have better than average camera gear. We have pan tilt zoom cameras that we use. We record using a Panasonic EVA cinema camera, not just, a DSLR or a mirrorless camera. But the really cool thing that we can do is we can take and fly our drone up in the air and record 4K footage at 60 frames per second and slow it down, make it buttery smooth. So we get some pretty cool stuff. I think our story is the story of America. We're in our mid-50s. We have an elderly parent who faces some health challenges who lives with us. We have kids who are still in school at various levels and just getting out of school and making their way on their own. And we're at a place where we're having to make a transition which is forced upon us to a degree. And we have to figure out how to make it work. But the more we talk to people, the more we recognize we're not alone. We are the story of America. And root for us or root against us doesn't really matter to me, because I don't mind having that chip on my shoulder, feeling like people are telling me, you're crazy, you can't do this. But at the same time, everybody likes to feel like people are rooting for them. And that's our story. And we're going to be sharing it.